5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, this hearing belongs in a bad episode of House of Cards. I'm sure Frank Underwood is lurking somewhere here in the room. In fact, this hearing is literally based on a House of Cards, and the exhibits being used as a foundation are in all likelihood the product of a theft carried out by someone who is now under indictment in Texas and whose home has been the subject of a court-ordered search in California. Is this hearing really going to proceed based on stolen and misleading documents? Even Frank Underwood would be blushing at this point. This committee's sole purpose is to hold fake trials of citizens and companies that comply with laws, but not with the political agenda of Republicans who want to restrict women's health care. 12 states and 4 congressional committees, 1 Senate, 3 House, have already investigated the videos released by the so-called Center for Medical Progress last summer and found absolutely no evidence of wrongdoing. The same cannot be said for David Daleiden and his associates. This so-called committee is the very definition of a kangaroo court, a mock court that disregards the rules of law and justice to validate a predetermined conclusion. But this mock court has real consequences. While we are focusing on what goes on inside a woman's uterus, we are completely ignoring what happens to babies and children outside of them. How else can you explain why this panel is holding this hearing while children go hungry and research on pediatric cancer is desperately in need of more research dollars? What about the health implications for our children if we stifle fetal tissue research? After all, fetal tissue research was key to the CDC's recent confirmation of the link between Zika and microencephaly. This is the first step in developing treatment options and vaccines to stop the spread of Zika. Considering Zika-affected infants suffer from brain damage, severe seizures, and other medical problems, why aren't we talking about protecting those infant lives? If this committee succeeds in abusing medical professionals so severely that they abandon promising research, not a single life will be saved, but many, many will be lost. Perhaps we should propose a new name for this committee, the Select Investigative Panel on Stopping Research and Letting People Die. Now, let me ask Mr. Rabin, given that no witnesses on the panel have firsthand knowledge of how these exhibits were created or the underlying facts captured in any of them, do you think it's appropriate for the witnesses to speculate about
the gentlelady yield.
Criminal misconduct based on those documents?
Madam Chairman,
The gentleman is recognized.
I take personal offense to for it being said that as a physician I'm here to allow people to die. Like those words stricken from the record. It's a personal attack on me as a physician.
You were not referenced by name. Mr. Rabin, will you please respond?
I wouldn't quibble with.
Inquiry on that?
You have to be referenced by name.
If the gentlelady will yield.
I will yield.
Thank you. You would have to be referenced by name, and I appreciate the inquiry, but you would need to be referenced by name.
Thank you. I'd just like part of the record that I'm offended by that comment. Thank you.
The gentleman is so noted. Ms. Speier, you're recognized.
Mr. Rabin.
Thank you. I can't quibble with speculation. It's important that everybody remember that it's just speculation, that this is not probative evidence of anything. We've got very, very bright, experienced people speculating.
So to Mr. Lennon, the Madam Chair, even in her opening remarks, referenced, quote, horrible videos. These videos have 30 minutes missing from them. The doctor interviewed said 10 times that Planned Parenthood does not profit from tissue donations. And Mr. Daleiden sent a proposed transfer agreement with a specific clause, a compensation clause, to Planned Parenthood when he was trying to negotiate a contract. Planned Parenthood struck that particular compensation clause, and then Mr. Daleiden didn't pursue it. Is that a reputable person on which to base an entire committee hearing?
I've never met the gentleman that you referred to. In fact, I don't know what House of Cards or Frank Underwood is either. So, but I will tell you this:
Rock?
there's a difference. There's a difference between what a discredited whistleblower like Ms. Clayton unfortunately had to deal with, as opposed to admissions made by an agent of a potential target. So those are apples and oranges. I have not purported, I'm not saying I've watched all the videos. I've seen some excerpts. I'm just talking as an evidentiary matter. There's a huge difference between a whistleblower who is discredited and an agent or director or employee or officer of a targeted industry. Those are admissions that could be admissible in court. So I think, again, I don't want to opine. I have not looked at all the videos. I don't even know where
I
they were
think
all
you
made.